all about empowering people who give birth to give birth the way they want and to have all the information before they decide how they want to give birth. Hi friends, I'm Jenica Hill. Welcome to my channel, which is all about embracing and celebrating your full magical self. Because you, my friend, are magical. If you're new here, please subscribe. We talk about self-love on this channel. I'm bisexual and married, so we talk about identity and sexuality. And right now I am 33 weeks pregnant, so we talk about that too. And that's what today's video is going to be about. As you can see, I'm standing in front of a crib, and I'm also standing in front of a rainbow that I painted myself as a gift to my unborn little baby. I'm very proud of it because it took me all day and I was terrified I was going to screw it up, and I think it turned out pretty good. If you would like a tutorial on how I did it, I can make one. I was going to film the process, but I was too afraid that I was going to screw it up really bad, and I didn't want to have I need to film it also on my mind, so I decided not to film it. But if you're interested in painting your own rainbow like this, I did come up with a strategy that ended up working pretty well for me, so I can share it if you'd like. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, let's get on to today's topic, which is the most helpful resources for pregnancy, in my opinion. I'm making this video because, in case somebody is pregnant and isn't really sure how to get started finding information, or if you plan to become pregnant, you're like, where do I start? Or if you have a friend or family member who's pregnant and would like a gift, maybe one of these would be a good gift. Ask first though, because not everybody likes the same stuff. I'm going to break today's resources down into information/intellectual resources and comfort/physical resources. Because, body and mind are both involved when you're carrying a human in your body. Here are my top resources for information during pregnancy. The first resource I went to when I found out I was pregnant was YouTube, which we're on right now. Thanks, YouTube, because people have such great videos. I really like Lopke's Life. Is that how you say your name? I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. And Hey Shayla and Femhead. Those are all YouTubers that I watched. I watched Femhead first, and then I started watching the other ones a little bit later. But there are a lot of people who talk about pregnancy on YouTube, and probably any one of them will help you get started just looking for information. Because even if you don't agree with that person about pregnancy or baby stuff or whatever, you can be like,
oh, that's a topic I'm interested in learning more about.
And then do your own research, right? Like with those videos, take this video with a grain of salt. This is just my opinion based on my experience. But anyway, YouTube, great resource. Second resource, books. I have 3 books I would like to highlight today. So first one, Pregnancy Day by Day. Now my friend gave me this book. Thank you so much, you know who you are. And it's written in 2008. It's a little bit outdated. But what I love about this book, and you can probably find a more updated one, yeah, I'll just link to these in the description. Basically, this book goes through every single day of your pregnancy, what to expect, what the baby is doing in there, how it's growing, tips for new moms and dads and partners. When I say it's a little outdated, it uses the word partner instead of husband, right? Like assuming everyone's married. It uses partner, but it assumes that the partner is male. So it's not updated. It's not inclusive enough, in my opinion. But the great thing, and also, it's like a bunch of white people. So keep that in mind. Definitely doesn't represent everyone. Although, yeah, there's like light racial diversity in here. It's not ideal. But the great thing is, my partner and I read this every night, and it's been sort of our little ritual, and that's what my friend told me that she did with her partner when she was pregnant with her kids, and it has been really helpful because I would go through something Like, when I had round ligament pain, which is just when you start to feel your uterus growing and stretching, and it puts pressure on your round ligament, which is like, in front of your uterus, it hurts really bad. And I didn't know that that was a thing. And then by the time that started happening to me, this book started telling me about it at the same time. And I was like,
Oh, that's normal. I'm going through that, and the book is talking about it. How lovely.
and that's been happening with a lot of different things that I've experienced during pregnancy, like physical things and mental things even. It talks about, hormonal changes and what you might be experiencing because of hormones, and it's just very validating. So definitely recommend. It's a fun little ritual. It's something to look forward to before you go to bed. Ina May's Guide to Childbirth. This book, I love it. I love it so much. I also watched the documentary on Ina May Gaskin, and it's called Birth Story, I believe. You can get it on Amazon, or I think it's on YouTube also. But basically, Ina May has written many books, and this one's really good. It's the only one I've read, but so it's my favorite of the books she's written because it's the only one I've read. But the first half of it is all these birth stories, like positive birth stories, where women are very honest about what their birth was like, but they are mostly positive. They're not like traumatic birth stories, right? So you get to read about all these different birth stories and find out, okay, so this is what this woman went through, this is what this woman went through, and just sort of like know different options of what to expect. Because obviously, when you go into labor, which I don't know yet from experience, but from what I've heard, there's no way you can predict what's going to happen to you. So it's just nice to get some perspective from people who've gone through it and really find out about different births. Then the second half is information. Now, it's information on all kinds of terrifying things as well as good things. You get some advice. It talks about the hospital system. Ina May talks about the history of childbirth and why women started lying on their backs, which historically, I guess there are a couple of different theories on this, but one of them is that this royal wanted to see his mistress give birth, so he made her lay on her back and watched from behind a curtain because it was illegal to be in the room. And then the ladies after that were like,
oh, it's ladylike to be on your back giving birth.
Even though that position is like the worst possible position for giving birth because your pelvis is smaller. Anyway, you'll learn everything you need to know about all that in this book. It might scare you a little bit, especially if you are already afraid of giving birth in a hospital setting or giving birth with a lot of interventions. And it might make you feel a little bit invalidated if you are already planning to do a hospital birth. Whatever birth you're planning on, like, you go, mom, you go, parent, you are great. I mean, do what you need to do, you know what I mean? This just gives some good information, and you can make your decision based on just some good information, and that's what matters. We have decided to give birth, as long as everything goes well, at a birth center. So I'm planning to do an unmedicated birth. I'll let you know how that goes. And so with that, I bring you to book number 3, Birthing from Within. This book by Pam England and Rob Horowitz is phenomenal. Actually, my partner and I are about to take birth classes that are based on this book, so it's working out well. I didn't even know that when I signed up for the birth classes. I just was like,
oh, this birth class seems right up my alley.
My friend also lent me this book. 2 of my friends actually lent me this book, so I need to give one of them her copy back because I forgot I had it already. I'm in the midst of reading this right now, and actually I'm in the section called Birthing Through Pain. So it's very helpful. And at the beginning of this book, they talk about making birth art, which I think I might make a video where we make birth art together. I know I'm going to do it in my birth class, but I think it would be really fun. So let me know if that's something you're interested in. Even if you're not pregnant, we can make art together. Am I right? But then, it goes into what to do as the birth partner. So there's a whole chapter for dads and birth partners. Then there's, information about how to cope with pain and, basically how to have an unmedicated birth and do that as successfully as possible and just be informed. And also not just informed, but in your body, because a lot of what this book talks about is how in Western society we like to intellectualize a lot of things, and sometimes when you're in labor, intellectualizing can actually make everything go a lot slower and be more painful. So it's a very good read. Again, something to read and then make your own decision, but I think that it's really important for women to be informed about labor and birth and postpartum and all those things, so that women and anyone who has a baby, because if you are having a baby, then you deserve to know what your body is about to go through. You deserve to know what to expect in a way, even though you can't expect everything. And you just deserve to know what your options are, because I think some people who give birth aren't sure what options they have, and they just go with what seems to be right in front of them. And I'm all about empowering people who give birth to give birth the way they want, and to have all the information before they decide how they want to give birth. And to know that giving birth does not have to be traumatic. Sometimes it is, and there are various reasons, and they talk about that in this book as well. Third resource, intellectually, so I had YouTube, books, and then this is an app, the Flow app. I used this app to track my periods, so I just changed it to pregnancy mode when I got pregnant. It's one of those apps that will tell you, what the baby's going through every day, give you tips on how to sleep better, and, tips on what to eat, things like that. There are tons of apps like this. This is just the one that I used because I was already using it and I already understood how to use it. It will also tell you, what size your baby is every week and give you, a fruit or vegetable or something to compare it to. Sometimes the comparisons seem very off. 1 week it was a zucchini. I guess it was as long as a zucchini, but I'm like,
Zucchinis range in size, do they not?
the next week it was like a coconut or something bigger. I don't know. Just sometimes the comparisons don't seem to match well. So I don't know. Maybe there's an app that does a better job with that. But I like the Flow app because it has a lot of information. It reads like an Instagram story. So you kind of click on something and then you can click through or go back or hold on something. It's just kind of nice. There are videos by experts. I thoroughly enjoy it. There's also a secret chat board so you can read what other parents-to-be say about being pregnant and just kind of gauge your experience off of them. It's just kind of nice. Moving on to physical resources, or I'd like to say comfort resources. Okay, so I think I've already showed this to you. Actually, I know I already have. Why am I pretending I don't know? I do know. I already showed this to you. A pregnancy support belt. So this one is Jill and Joey. I got it on Amazon, but there are all kinds of brands. This one I liked because it's a little bit less bulky than some, but it still gives you good support, and it's really easy to take on and off. Because sometimes you put it on to get support while you're on a walk or something, and then it just gets hot and feels really tight. I was in a movement class in my second trimester, and this came in handy, but sometimes I had to take it off because it was too restricting. I will say, I got this in my second trimester, and when I look back at pictures of me in this back then, I'm like, I barely had a belly. But the thing is, if you're pregnant, or if you're going to be pregnant, you should know, or you already know, that it's still uncomfortable. When your belly starts to grow and you're not used to it, it's like, oh my gosh, this feels so strange. So this can just be kind of comforting, help with lower back pain. It just gives support to baby. Now that I'm in my third trimester, I definitely feel like I need it every time I go on a walk because it just feels like the baby's gonna fall right out sometimes. So definitely recommend. This is very easy to put on. You just wrap it around your waist. It has a little one side of it that has Velcro-y stuff on it, and it just sticks to itself. It's very handy, and I think it comes in multiple colors, but I liked this nude color because it could go under clothes and not look too weird. Anyway, I wear it over my clothes, though. I don't even care at this point. I'm like,
Yes, I'm pregnant. You already know. Here's my support belt. Blah, blah.
second resource. A Snoogle. So, really, a pregnancy pillow. But this is called the Snoogle. I also got it from Amazon. I know, I do get stuff from Amazon still. I know. You can yell at me in the comments if you want. I wouldn't blame you. But this Snoogle, basically I think they call it a C shape because it's got like a curve on the top and on the bottom, so you can wrap your body around it and lay on your side, and it supports your belly. You can switch sides throughout the night, which I do frequently. I do not sleep well right now, but this helps. It's just very cozy. My partner loves it and wants one also, and I frequently will walk in the room to find him laying in it. It's very comfortable. I think we will keep it for a long time and use it long after I'm pregnant. But it just gives you some extra support, and you know, you can find all types of pregnancy pillows online or at a store or whatever, but this one's great. I like it because it's a full body pillow. They also have just like low back pillows or just pillows to put in between your legs to support your back. There are all kinds, but honestly, if you're pregnant, find something to support your sleep because it's a game changer, really. I joked when we first got it. I was like,
I want to have sex with your partner? Too bad, the Snoogle.
because it takes up the whole bed. So if you don't want something to take up your whole bed, maybe just get one of the smaller pillows for between your legs or your back or something. I knew I needed the full support, okay? An exercise ball. I'm not going to show you this in this room because if you could see it all right now, you would see that it's pretty small and filled with things because it's not set up yet. I will show you our nursery once it's set up because I'm sure it'll look really cute, but it's not there yet. So you've seen my labor ball in other videos. Exercise ball. I call it a labor ball because that's what I'm going to use it for. But this resource is great long before you give birth because, well, at least for me, because you can do exercises on it that help the baby get in the right position. So like pelvic tilts and hula hoop action and figure eights with your hips. It helps to release your low back. You can sit on there and sit forward. That's like good to cradle the baby. It's just great. I sit on it all the time. We use it as a footrest now. And I'm sure you could do exercises on it. I don't really do a whole ton of exercises, as I've said in previous videos. But I do yoga, and I guess my real final resource is the same. We're coming back around. It's the same resource I began with, which is YouTube, because I use YouTube for yoga classes and prenatal workouts that I like. Those are my top pregnancy resources. I hope it was helpful if you're interested in this kind of thing. If not, I hope it was informative, and if you know somebody pregnant in your life, maybe ask them if they need a pregnancy support belt or a pregnancy pillow. Ask them what they like and then get that for them as a gift, or, you know, see if they're interested in one of these books. I don't know. Thanks so much for watching. Give a thumbs up if you liked it, a thumbs down if you didn't. That's fine with me. And please go out and be your full magical self today because the world needs you just as you are. Have a great week.